vom Himmlischen ein Heiligtum, deine Zauber binden wieder was.
The fifth generation of consoles was a pivotal time in the video game history. The industry had evolved at an ever-growing rate ever since the time Atari was the top dog around, but now the very foundations of the business were about to shift. In the jump to 3D, some new spots were filled, some started being left behind, and some managed to keep their grip on the steering wheel. Naturally, a lot of eyes were on Nintendo, since they had two of the biggest IPs in gaming, franchises that were deeply rooted in the culture 30 years ago and that still managed to push the envelope to this very day. Despite not being the first 3D platformer, some would argue that Mario 64 is the best. Nintendo managed to drive forward the main IP in a way their competitor, Sega, couldn't pull off cleanly 2 years later and with superior technology. Answering on Bob-on Battlefield similarly basic design questions to the one Super Mario Bros. Tackled on level 1-1. At the same time, Nintendo had Zelda, whose first entry did for the adventure game what Mario did for the 2D platformer. But whereas the problem in adapting Mario to 3D was mechanical and dissolved by turning linear levels into obstacle courses, the problem in adding a new dimension to Zelda isn't one of how, but rather how much more. The structure for both Ocarina of Time and A Link to the Past is basically the same. You have this map where you complete some dungeons and then somehow enter a different version of the same to complete some more. But what I like to focus on is the exploration. Given more advanced hardware, the Zelda team could now afford to put more effort into the side content and using the Z-axis improve more creative ways to interact with the world. The key word being interact. The extra challenges don't feel glued on in order to give you something else to do. They feel like an extension of the world. Pretty much every main location you visit has something you can stumble upon and be able to discover sooner or later. Take Kakariko Village. You can help this girl with her cuckoos, enter the spider house, the well in the middle of the town, giving the Keaton mask to the cat, giving a scary mask to the kid in the graveyard, entering the royal tomb and 3 heart pieces, one in the windmill, one in Impa's house, and one in the graveyard. However, despite Kakariko being the most dense location, for me the crowning jewel can be found in Lolon Ranch. This is a location you can access to pretty much from the beginning. Here, Malon can teach you Epona's song, which only pays off in the latter half of the game, where you can play to a grown-up version of Epona, win 2 races against this guy, and earn the ability to ride on horseback through Hyrule Field. The thing is, the game doesn't do anything to guide you towards that direction, but it rewards you for caring. That's how you make a video game world feel alive.